Ugh, ads are such poop. Subscribe to Acast Plus now to skip ads and more for just $1 a month. Click the link in our show notes to learn how. And hey, we're on Patreon too. Your support helps cover the cost of running a podcast. For $2 a month, you can get early access to all our episodes ad-free, plus bonus episodes exclusive to Patreon subscribers only. Visit patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse to sign up now.
At Bombas, we make socks, underwear, and T-shirts that feel good and do good. They feel good because they're designed with the softest materials and comfort innovations. They do good because for every item you purchase, we donate another item to someone who needs it. So far, we at Bombas have donated over 100 million items, and your purchases add to that impact. Go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/ACAST and use code ACAST at checkout.
Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys.
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you not remember what we did yesterday, but know where we are and what we're doing?
Well, we're in Psalms, and David is writing a lot of shit that he didn't write.
Exactly.
That's basically what we're in. And we mentioned a lot of songs that came from one of the Psalms yesterday.
Yes. And I hope that everybody had a chance to listen to every single version that I mentioned.
Yeah, because I did post all the links. So
I actually sent the Pentatonics / Jennifer Hudson one to my mom.
Oh, yeah?
And she goes, not my favorite version, but I do love that song.
Because, of course, Pentatonics is a little...
My mom loves Pentatonics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have a feeling it was because Jennifer Hudson. You know. Okay. Because she hit a lot of various notes, and my mom doesn't like that quote-unquote black music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Here I was like trying to bridge the gap, like,
right,
hey, you guys are Christian. This is a Christian song. Here's a hymn. Would you like to?
And then she had to go and be kind of
racist,
slightly racist.
Vaguely. Yeah. Suspicious.
Suspiciously racist.
Yeah.
That's a good term, actually. I like suspicious. You're suspiciously racist.
Yeah. Like, I'm not quite sure that was racist, but I suspect it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you're doing a podcast. So yesterday we did Psalms chapters 6 through
7, 8. Yes.
Yep. And today we're going to be reading
Psalms 9, 10, 11.
All right, let's get into this.
Okie dokie. Okay, we are in Psalms 9, 10, and 11.
Okay.
And for reasons I shall reveal in a bit, I'm going to read 9 and 10 together. They are often read as one piece.
Okay.
So, but we'll talk about that when I'm done.
Got it.
Okay?
Sure.
So, starting with 9, and I'll let you know when I transition into 10, but I won't give notes on 9 and 10 until I'm done.
Okay. Sounds fair.
All right. So, Psalm 9, and there's instructions for the director of music to the tune of The Death of the Sun, a psalm of David.
The tune of the Death of the Sun.
The Death of the Sun.
Interesting. Okay.
Not Boy Child, but not like Star in the Sky, but yes, Boy Child.
Well, this must be a song that people knew, right?
I guess.
Okay. All right.
I mean, would you know either way?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know songs.
I'm kind of curious about that.
Right?
So.
I did not look at that before, so I don't have notes on that.
Oh, okay.
So, Sorry. I'll have to get back to you on
Maybe
it.
Fern can do some research on it.
Go, Fern. All right. So, anyway, back to Psalm 9. Getting into this.
Right, yeah.
I will praise you, O Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonders. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. My enemies turn back. They stumble and perish before you. For you have upheld my right and my cause. You have sat on your throne, judging righteously. You have rebuked the nations and destroyed the wicked. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. You're awesome, you're awesome, you're awesome, you're awesome, you're awesome.
Right.
Okay. Endless ruin has overtaken the enemy. You have uprooted their cities. Even the memory of them has perished. The Lord reigns forever. He has established his throne for judgment. He will judge the world in righteousness. He will govern the peoples with justice. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. Those who know your name will trust in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you.
Never. Sorry. Couldn't help.
Sing praises to the Lord enthroned in Zion. Proclaim among the nations what he has done. For he who avenges blood remembers. He does not ignore the cry of the afflicted, except for sometimes he does.
Right.
O Lord, see how my enemies persecute me. Have mercy and lift me up from the gates of death, that I may declare your praises in the gates of the daughter of Zion, and therefore rejoice in your salvation. The nations have fallen into the pit they have dug. Their feet are caught in the net they have hidden. The Lord is known by his justice. The wicked are ensnared by the work of their hands. Higgaion Salah.
Wow, so that's like a different Salah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The wicked return to the grave, all the nations that forget God. But the needy will not always be forgotten, nor the hope of the afflicted ever perish. Arise, O Lord, let not man triumph. Let the nations be judged in your presence. Strike them with terror, O Lord. Let the nations know they are but men. Salah.
Okay.
Now Psalm 10.
That's a lot of praise, and then also fear.
Yes.
Fear.
Sounds about right.
Right?
That tracks.
Yeah.
Okay, Psalm 10. Why, O Lord, do you stand far off? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble?
I got the answer to that one. I know this one.
Ooh, pick me.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
In his arrogance, the wicked man hunts down the weak who are caught in the schemes he devises. He boasts of the cravings of his heart. He blesses the greedy and reviles the Lord. In his pride, the wicked does not seek him. In all his thoughts, there is no room for God. His ways are always prosperous. He is haughty, and your laws are far from him. He sneers at all his enemies. He says to himself, nothing will shake me. I'll always be happy and never have trouble. His mouth is full of curses and lies and threats. Trouble and evil are under his tongue. He lies in wait near the villages. From ambush, he murders the innocent, watching in secret for his victims. He lies in wait like a lion in cover. He lies in wait to catch the helpless. He catches the helpless and drags them off in his net.
Okay.
His victims are crushed. They collapse. They fall under his strength. He says to himself, God has forgotten. He covers his face and never sees. Arise, O Lord. Lift up your hand, O God. Do not forget the helpless. Why does the wicked man revile God? I mean,
right.
That answers its own question.
Yeah.
Because he's not, wicked.
Right. And also God's not doing anything about it. So.
Right. Why does he say to himself, he won't call me to account? But you, O God, do see trouble and grief. You consider it to take it in hand. The victim commits himself to you. You are the helper of the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked and evil man. Call him to account for his wickedness that would not be found. That would not be found out. Sorry.
Right.
The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations will perish from his land. You hear, O Lord, the desire of the afflicted. You encourage them and you listen to their cry, defending the fatherless and the oppressed, in order that man who is of the earth may terrify no more. All right, that is the end of Psalm 10. So now I'm going to rush over here to my trusty little notes, and we're going to talk about Psalms 9 and 10.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So Psalm 9 is a thanksgiving for God's justice and starts, I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. And the topic of the psalm is that the success of evil is only temporary, and in the end, the righteous will endure. The psalm is an acrostic Hebrew poem. Do you know what an acrostic is?
No.
Okay, it's where the first letter from each line down the side, you put those together and they spell something.
Okay, all right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason that I read 9 and 10 together is because 9 is only the first half of the word. Oh. And then 10 is the other half.
Oh. Okay. So definitely meant to be done together.
Yes.
Got it.
And often they are read as one psalm. Okay. So not like Psalm 9 and Psalm 10, but just one long psalm. So because of that, it does make it difficult to analyze the psalm because the alphabetical arrangement comes across as artificial or forced because you've got your word written down the side and then you're trying to find the words and stuff to fit into what you have there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people have a hard time like, I don't know, was this a good one? I don't know. It feels kind of forced.
It just seems, I mean, so far most of the psalms that we've heard have had much the same theme. Mm-hmm. They're like, lift up the righteous and smash the fucking, shit heels, basically.
Yeah, like whatever. Kicking their teeth or whatever.
Because that's apparently what they like to sing about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Is killing bad people and raising up good, the godly or whatever.
Yeah.
So
there is a distinct mood change between Psalms 9 and 10, even though they're meant to go together.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
I watched your face and you were like, what?
Yeah.
I thought these went together.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting to me too. Psalm 9 has a tone of victory over evil and was likely written to celebrate David's victory over Goliath.
Okay.
And then as the acrostic continues into Psalm 10.
Although, just to point out, David didn't necessarily kill Goliath.
Right.
Because that was also a stolen story from another part of the Bible.
Exactly. So as the acrostic continues into Psalm 10, the tone becomes a lament that God seemingly stands far off.
Right.
So it's just interesting that you've got those two that go together, but do they though?
Right.
So Psalm 10 is a prayer for the overthrow of the wicked and starts out, why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Okay.
Yep.
Recall that Psalm 8, remember that's the one that we liked, or the one that I liked anyway, that inspired
the songs that we put on the links in yesterday's podcast. Yes.
That one reflected on man's special place in creation. Remember, that's the astronomer's psalm.
Yeah.
Right? In contrast, both Psalms 9 and 10 end with statements setting mankind in a more negative light in the final verses of each one. Which,
it definitely did.
Let the nations know they are but men. And then, in order that man who is of the earth may terrify no more.
Right.
So, kind of like knocking them down a peg.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think God's more than knocked people down a peg in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
He's completely murdered all of them, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
So
compared to Psalm 9, Psalm 10 is focused more on the individual than the collective human condition. Which, that definitely tracks.
Right, yeah.
So now we're going to go on to Psalm 11.
Okay. Yep.
Psalm 11, for the director of music of David. Of course.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And as we've said in previous episodes, many of these are attributed to David as the author, yet we know that he just wasn't.
Yeah.
Was not.
I just don't know where he found all the time between all the wars he was in and
the running away and the hiding.
Running away and the hiding.
And watching people pee.
And watching people bathe. I mean, he had all kinds of shit going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Psalm 11. In the Lord I take refuge. How then can you say to me, flee like a bird to your mountain? For look, the wicked bend their bows. They set their arrows against the strings to shoot from the shadows at the upright in heart. When the foundations are being destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord is in his heavenly throne. He observes the Son of Men. His eyes examine them. The Lord examines the righteous, but the wicked and those who love violence, his soul hates.
Ooh, God hates people.
He does.
Okay.
He does. We talked about how I feel about God hating people.
Right, yeah.
On the wicked he will rain, fiery coals and burning sulfur. A scorching wind will be their lot. For the Lord is righteous. He loves justice. Upright men will see his face. And that's the end.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sure.
So Psalm 11 is the refuge of the upright.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
And it starts out, in the Lord I put my trust. Or in the Lord put I my trust.
Sure.
Okay?
Right.
Depending on which version you're reading.
Yep.
Its authorship, of course, is traditionally assigned to King David, but most scholars place its origins sometime after the end of the Babylonian captivity.
Sure.
Which,
is the case for most of these.
Yeah.
Right.
This psalm is the personal testimony of persecution for those who have opted for the legal process. Okay? The psalm leads off with a question put to the writer's soul. Why should I flee like a bird to the mountains? Some see the fleeing as negative and running away rather than trusting in God. And that's because there's this, the psalmist instead resolves to trust God after that. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
But there's an irony because David often fled from Saul to the mountains.
All the time.
Right?
Yeah.
And in the long run, he became king anyway. So
right.
It's kind of like,
And, one of the most righteous dudes of the Bible or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And additionally, there is a contrast with Psalm 7, okay? Which is, a few ago, right?
Yep.
So the one we just read, Psalm 11, indicates the wicked shoot arrows at the righteous, right?
Yep.
But back in Psalm 7, God readied his bow and arrows for the wicked.
Right, yeah.
So we've got two opposing themes here.
Yeah.
So that was fun to read about and interesting to uncover.
Right. Yeah. I'm these are very thematic as far as how these are going. It's like
they're somewhat repetitive and that makes it hard to pay attention to what they're trying to say.
Yeah. Maybe more importantly, that's part of the issue is that, when you're not the issue, but who gives a shit? You're just singing these songs, right? These are songs you're singing for the glory of God. And it doesn't matter if it's the same message over and over again. Glory to God smashes, people against him, whatever.
Right.
That's basically the message, right?
Yeah.
Essentially.
In all of these.
And yay the people who worship him and, shit on the people who don't.
Right.
And that, it just seems like that's the general theme of Psalms so far.
So far, yeah, I agree.
But I'm hoping maybe there's some different things
something different.
Maybe David doesn't have to write all of them. Is there another author, or is David literally the author of all of them?
No, there are some attributed to other. There's 150 of these sons of bitches.
Right.
Okay? So, if you recall, I said in the beginning that they are attributed to various authors. Okay.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't entirely sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is reach out to some of my Christian family and ask what their favorite Psalms are and why.
Yeah.
So that I can add that to my notes as we come across them.
Maybe we should ask our fans too.
I was thinking that as well. So if any of you have a favorite Psalm, please
share it and why.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be really cool.
And why not in why do you like that?
Right.
Why? Because I would like to like it with you.
Right. And it's not that, just because they're in the Bible doesn't mean that you can't like certain aspects of what something is said.
I'm still thinking about Psalm 8.
Right.
Yeah. So you can like it and not, that doesn't have to be a mark on your atheistic or agnostic spirit or whatever.
Sure. No, you can look at something, outside of yourself and decide that it means
pretty.
Something else for you or whatever,
Yeah.
or that it's just beautiful as it is.
Yeah.
So that was Psalms chapters, 9 through 11.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow we'll be back with
Psalms 10. No.
This is so hard.
This is really hard, you guys. 11, 12, 13, 14.
We can't count.
We can't. Well, also because I'm looking at my book and I'm looking at my notes.
Yeah.
And I'm flipping back and forth between the two.
Right.
And, I'm also looking at where I get my notes from, as well as the version of the Bible online that I typically read from.
Yeah.
So I've got all of these different things like going through my brain, and then you just ask me like, what's the number? And you know how I am with numbers.
No, yeah, you suck at numbers.
I don't number.
Yeah. Although I can tell you, just I just want to be clear here. I used to work for a company that no longer exists, and we used to have to drag things across to scan them. So instead, I would just memorize numbers. So like, I worked at a pet store, and we sold.
It was a pet supply store. Yeah.
So we had like pig ears and things like that, right? And so we had the UPC code. Okay, just well, actually, this is something that everybody can check. The no, because they've changed it since then. Damn it. Anyway, the UPC code for, let's say, Imes Chunks Mini was 19014-11120 because it was a 20-pound bag, and then the 111 and the 19014 was always the same. But then Piggy Chews, they were 727-348-78005. See, I have all this fucking shit in my head, and it needs to go.
I mean, I remember when I lived overseas, and we had a APO, which is American Post Office,
right? Yeah.
Address.
Yeah.
And we had box 505.
You can remember that.
But that's not difficult.
Well, I mean, if I ask you the price of the milk that you just looked at 5 seconds after you looked at it,
absolutely not.
You will not recall it.
Oh, we also lived in building 265E.
Huh.
Yep.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I was, 16 when we left.
Right.
Or no, I was 15 when we left.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that was quite a number of years ago. Random bullshit nonsense
right.
numbers.
Why is it you don't need if you could just like a computer, just like delete certain things out of your brain.
Seriously.
I don't need it. I don't need that shit.
When I was at my doctor's appointment, they asked me your best number, and I could not remember your cell phone number, and I actually need that.
Right.
That pissed me off about myself.
All
remember
right.
numbers, damn you.
We're rambling on about stuff, so we'll see you guys tomorrow for Psalms chapters 12 through 14.
And let us know your favorite psalm between now and then.
Definitely. All right, we'll see you guys then.
Yep, bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.